A cowboy and welcome to insert name here. A polylingual. So you about to hear folks that are just showing off. Do you know what I mean? It's not just one. It's just not like two. It's like a polylingual open mic night with Poetry Translation Center. Many languages are being spoken here, right? It's a pleasure to be your host this evening. It is the new normal. I am in the nooks of my armchair. It's so comfortable. It's just the one. In the background, the washing machine is going off. If you're hearing it, mind your business. It is what it is. This is the new normal. It's just what it is. Get yourself a drink, tea, whatever. Poetry is brought us here tonight. Irrespective of what is going on, the uncertainties and everything else, one thing is for sure. We are here tonight. Poetry brought us here tonight. And it's amazing. We're going to be hearing some amazing poets with a wealth of culture and a wealth of just experience and thoughts and honesty. And I'm so ready for it. Before all of that though, some context, why are we here? What's going on? A bit of background into the folks that's kind of graciously brought us here tonight. And yeah, here I am to just explain a bit more about that. So the Poetry Translation Center has been discovering some of the best contemporary poets from Asia, Africa, and Latin America for the last 16 years. That requires a round of applause, people. 16 years. Awesome. And bringing them to the English-speaking audiences by translating their work in collaborative workshops through publications and dedicated live and online events. Recently, they've been developing a program of activity for young people from 16 to 26 years old. They are very awesome. Hold tight to PTC. Awesome. One of the purposes of tonight's event in particular is to discover and showcase some talented young poets who speak different languages live between cultures and write, perform, and explore the relationships between those cultures and languages in their work. I am particularly just inspired already as a young Nigerian growing up in London. I wasn't so sure about how to kind of fuse my Yoruba and English and everything together. It was something that kind of tucked in. And then I started writing poems and then I felt, oh, can I even do that? And gradually I've kind of grown to find my own voice to a position now that I use my language often. I refer back to it. It's part of me. It's part of me. It's innately. It's not something that I feel to just shove to one side anymore. And it's even more inspiring when I look around and I see younger poets fusing their languages, especially younger Nigerian poets that are fusing their language, and it makes me just even more inspired to just hear their work. So really excited to be here tonight. Really excited to introduce these poets to you. I'm not done yet though. So the other aim of tonight has to do with the terrible name of this event. So the organizers feel like they've done a really bad job to name this event. Insert name here. And next to that title is me. Oh, by the way, it is me, by the way. I've just grown hair now. Do you see what I mean? It is me, I promise you. So next to that title is me. But that title, insert name here, just seems like it's quirky, it's cool, but we know that they can do better than that, right? We know that they can do better than that. So insert name here, that's it. That's the part placeholder, part poetry word cliche. This has all that's got all to do with the fact that the PTC hasn't found a name for this youth program as yet. But that changes tonight. Insert dramatical music. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Changes tonight. Throughout the night, there will be options to throw out names, options to throw out your suggestions. As you're hearing the poets, we do want you to hear the poets, so don't get distracted. So in the kind of breaks and what have you, click chat type in suggestions of what you feel the name of the youth program should be called. This is that opportunity to do so. We cannot leave this night without a name for this youth program. Yeah. So if we leave it to the organizers, guess what the name is that they're thinking to call it? Just have a guess. Can't think of one? Let me help you out. They're thinking to call this youth program what? Poetry, poetry face. That's what they're looking to call it. Mac poetry face. We can't be having that. We need to rid that name, banish the name forever. The only way that can change is if you type in as many suggestions as you can, right? And let's just ensure that we have an amazing night. Big up the poets as you're hearing them. It's going to be awesome. Now, enough talking. I think to warm things up, I'm going to share a poem. And yeah, what better way to kind of do that than let me just share a poem of mine. And this poem is titled Stretch. Stretch my name to the ends of the earth without permission. Pull its limbs, bend its stresses. Past my parents who named me with pride. Defecate on their reasons. Break its bones until it's dough-like in your palms. Feel through its malleable matter. How it weighs heavy on the tongue. How it curves off the tip, burning out each letter of my existence. Without a blink, and I am left, harboring the ridicule, shucking and jiving to the symphony of laughter, because not laughing along means I'm hurt, because correcting you again becomes tiresome, because my name bear no witness or title by Yomi Ṣode. The enemies would have mocked me if I was born, but didn't allow them. My hue, the beginnings of a sunrise, my name, a celebration, a feast, a prayer. So save me this embarrassment, this battle, this sliding down my seat every time it's pronounced wrong, spelt wrong, the pause when it's looked upon, causing that facial frown, let's say it stinks, a smell one can't wash off until realizing how well one wears it. So as of now, do not strip what is rightfully mine. Let my name, my very being echo through hallways and vents. Let it wake each forefather, eraser, ancestor. I am no third time luckies. I am not no oops or my bads, only so much, oh, I'm sorry's I can take. What hope is there? What hope is there when 10 seconds to ask how a name is pronounced is a chore, a sheeting through generations, enough to hold but still be transparent, still be layered over and stretched and stretched and stretched and stretched again. This guessing game, a spin of the wheel of my ancestry, an amendment of red underlined without consent, a remix to an already well-crafted beat. Ayoyo, Yomi Sode, stretch. All right. Let's kick into gear. So, do you hear that? Do you hear that? The washing machine has stopped. So, it's all so quiet. Shh. No, we need to make as much noise as possible because we're right into this event and we need to have a good time. And it's like virtual and it's all this stuff and we're making the most of it. I hope you're good. The lighting is good. Do you see my glow? Do you see the glow? Yeah, that's what a good ring light does. Yeah, so we're just gonna like totally just crack into gear. Just yeah, let's just go. Introducing our poet. I'm introducing the poets now. This is so dope. And what's a good introduction without a good bio? And I know poets love to get awkward when you're reading bios, but no one reads a bio and I'm playing. I'm just going to read your bios. Don't get awkward. We're celebrating you. It is what it is. So introducing Tice Cin. So Tice is an interdisciplinary artist from North London, a recipient of a London Writers' Award for literary fiction. Cin has just finished her debut novel, Keeping the House, a story set in Tottenham that explores themes of risk and play and heavily features cabbages. It will be it will be edited by award-winning author and former Grant of Books editor Max Porter and published by And Other Stories. Folks, so teachers like wrote for like Skin Deep Mag, Magma Poetry. She's been commissioned. Do you know what I mean? Like we're dealing with like star here. Do you know what I mean? So make some noise for Tija.
Hi, my name is Tija, and I'm really pleased to be part of this. I love Poetry Translation Centre, and having an internship with PTC started me off in my early 20s. Now I'm in my mid 20s. So yeah, I wanted to share some poems with you today. The first one is called Sliced Fine. Nothing would be lost. Cabbages sliced fine and pickled in a big container, keep them under the sink. Mad scientists with human specimens that stink tucked away in cupboards. The brain that wouldn't die. She does the lot. Biber turşusu, gazaya turşusu, lahana, salatalık, ne ararsan. The cucumbers she does very, very small. So many cucumbers so buggy, so full of pests, as if all the disruption has woken them up. The only pickling I really wanted to get involved in was gappar, pickled caper. They're so prickly, so you need to chop it down with a chappa sometimes. Ne kadar severse, wherever you like. And this next one is called Coin Toss. My estranged father swam to the bottom of the sea to mourn the whale he had killed, and then wrestled with my mum on the sea floor over a Roman coin. They both say they found the coin, but only one describes it properly. I stand to inherit the coin. Why argue over ownership? Just pass it down. Breath depletion can be standoffish and entitled. A computer mapping the inhabitants of that cluster of bubbles registers them as fish. There are already digital paintings dedicated to them. Renaissance with their arms astern. Friends, come now. We all bake bread with our names cooked onto them. Smart loaves that get carved into smaller slices. Atop our breech, blue knees. I stand with all my lovers, throwing messages over piers, waiting to see which one reaches the correct fish. Swim a little further down and bring my mum out for me. She has retired happily, knowing that I am all the things I can be, and so now she plays penny up the wall with a resuscitated whale. So thank you so much for listening to me. I have one more poem, and this one I suppose I wrote it about a lot of the clothes factories in the mid-80s in particular, that a lot of migrant workers and community what their bread and butter was, to be honest, like in Dalston, for example, in Birmingham. What I could lose in threads, hit my head against the whir. If you put my hands back 100, 200, they'd be the same, jammed, but crusted, but through a hole. I'm winded, wood blocked raw, bobbing up like wheat in a belly. I'm a raw block of woods, bloated wet by England's. Oh, hands of a fool, not cold but brittle. I'll be kind to this fool, fretting in the sea. Singers on my ears to remember my grandmother, spinning and weaving. We lose ourselves in threads. I took you from a tree and heard you figging. There were rows and rows of people sitting next to each other, like school. People in front and by your side. 7:30 start, 4 o'clock break, non-stop. Check your stitches for the passer, before the ironing ladies, before the Hoffman. Bobbin, get your colours right. Back up, bobbins, 104. Where did we all go there? Tell the age of a thing, circled trunk, journey from tree to bobbin, belt-driven machine, snapping back at me, snapping back at me, snapping back at me. London life to me is so easy. Alright, it's hard because I was a worker, but after a while you sell your clothes to laundry, tax. First 2 years I was working with Ahmed. One factory in London, one in Birmingham. I was doing 10,000 pieces a week. Oh, they made me a tool. Not wound, but lapped. Oh, I'm more than a tool. Turning in the sap. If you put my hands forward 100, 200, they'd be the same, but glitched, but lean, but under an arch and blended. Thank you, everyone.
Awesomeness. Awesome, 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 awesome. What an excellent way to kick off the proceedings this evening. When PTC, when it asks me, they're like, oh, do you mind hosting? I'm like, sure thing. And then it asks me again, they're like, oh, do you mind sharing a poem? I'm like, yeah, all good. I know that my poem, for the most part, has one line where I'm speaking in Yoruba, but then for the most part, in comparison to the plethora of poets that you're going to hear tonight, that they are talking, that they were literally speaking paragraphs in their own language. Who am I? I'm just like this minuscule. This is me compared to the variety of poets that you're going to hear tonight. And that was an excellent way to kick off the proceedings, and we have many more poets to go through. However, before that, I need to break down how this voting system is going to work in regards to the name that you are going to choose, the name that you're contributing to in the chat, and the name that you are going to choose by the end of tonight. And there are some contenders as well in terms of the names. Oh, drum roll, all that good stuff. So before I even introduce our next poet, I would like to just explain a few things about the voting system. So, ears ready. Listen up. This is how the voting system is going to work. Right. So, there'll be 3 rounds of voting, and we will be using a sudden death system. Yeah. Hoi, a sudden death system. The names that don't get the votes are kicked out. Round 1. This is round 1. We will put all the options we have so far for a vote. Anything that doesn't get voted at this point is gone. Yeah? See you later. The names with the votes go on to round 2. Round 2. All the names that survived the first round and all the suggestions made on the night will get voted on this night, right now. All the names that make it through will get voted on. Again, anything that doesn't get voted, oh, literally, you're out of here. You're gone. It actually says dies in my notes, and I'm like, oh, that sounds a bit harsh, but you're gone. Yeah, you're gone. The last names then go on to round this. When I do this, I'm just expecting you just to talk with me. Round what? Round 3. Round 3. All the surviving names plus any last minute great suggestions go up for the vote, and the name with the most votes wins. Yeah. So the name with the most votes wins. It's all yours, right? And you will know all about this by the end of the event, and it'll be in the chat. Here's times for the contenders. So these are the potential contenders. Yeah. You ready? So the current names that we have that like kind of championing and in competition with each other to be selected. Here goes something. So, young tongues, jolly glots, trans code switches, paper planes, Decolpo, empire, double-tongued, live, live in translation, lost and found, imperial countermeasures, tongue lash. Yeah? One more time. Young tongues, jolly glots, transit stories, code switches, paper planes, decolpo, empire of other, double-tongued, live in translation, lost and found, imperial countermeasures, and tongue lash. Good luck. As the evening proceedings continue, please get your votes in. Message, interact, emojis, send more names in. We've got all of those names. Said if you feel like, nah, I can come up with something better, make sure you send your name in. Yeah. Let me introduce our next poet. So, John Akinde is a young, up-and-coming poet, rapper, and theatre maker from the East End of London. John started writing initially through rap and grime until given the opportunity to explore poetry through a local performing arts project. Along the years, he's been writing and continues to create work that seek to inspire and provoke thought. Make some noise, some big noise for John Akinde.
Yo, my name is John Akinde, aka Awesome. I've got a poem for you called Mother's Prayers. Ami, Lorúkọ Jésù. My mother doesn't stop praying. It feels like every breath she takes is a prayer. She'll pray when she's sad, she'll pray when she's glad, she'll sing a prayer in the good times and chant one in the bad. My mother doesn't stop praying. My mother doesn't stop praying for me. She prays that I have good health, prays that I don't die before my time. That's why when I fall sick, I try my best to get better. Not just for me, but for my mother's prayers. She only wants the best for me, and so she prays for it. Her dreams are mine achieved, and so she prays for it to be. It's almost as though everywhere I go, my mother's prayers follow. Surrounds me with such gracious protection, and although sometimes I fall, my mother's prayers are patient. And yeah, sometimes I get lost, but my mother's prayers in those times become guidance. She says, I will become great, I will succeed, I will triumph. It's in these words of prayer that I find my path. You know, sometimes before I sleep, I don't want to wake up and face tomorrow. But you see, my mother pours heavy hopes into her prayers, and so I must get up. Because her hope for me is my medicine. She pours it all into her prayers and tells me, drink, son. You shall get better. And I always do, for her prayers. I am no angel, neither am I perfect or always certain, but my mother's prayers have kept me like the cot that rests a baby. It's almost as though her wise words transcend the function of ordinary conversation. Her words lift my spirits, her words interact with destiny. She likes to speak into existence. That's my mother. She never stutters. Every word of prayer that she utters isn't merely earnest hope, it's also confidence. What a beautiful woman, with eyes deeper than the sea, because she sees more in me than I ever see. It's a mother thing, the greatness of mothering. As a child, her hands taught me how to step wisely. Now it's her words that guide these steps. She taught me how to dance in adversity, even with my two left feet. You see, I always try to stay safe because my safety is my mother's peace. I may not always hear or see them, but I know my mother is somewhere praying for me. And so when I feel like giving up, I can't, because my mother doesn't give up on me with her love, her hopes, and her prayers. Bàbá mi, Ọlọ́run gíga, ẹ bá mi tọ́jú ìyá mi. Àmín, 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 lórúkọ Jésù.
How are we feeling? Are we all right? Are we good? We're good? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Listen. It's not easy to perform generally. On the stage is one thing. to then perform digitally and virtually, to then perform to audiences that you probably can't even see. You don't know if they're clapping, you don't know what's going on. And especially if you're performing in another language, it's very, 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 very hard. So I hope you're just taking everything in the same way that I've been taking stuff in. And even though I can't necessarily understand some of the languages that I've been privy to hearing as part of this event, I can hear the music. And the music is just making me just take a beat for a bit and just like absolutely sink into what I am hearing. Even you don't have to understand something to still be able to drift and sink yourself in it. And I am there. Names, suggestions, names, suggestions. We don't want poetry. We don't want poetry. No, we don't. We want decent names that we want to call the youth program. PTC want decent names for the youth program. Get them names in. Get it in. Right. Introducing our poet, Rupinder Kaur. Rupinder is a Birmingham Punjabi poet, performer, and creative curator. I love that creative curator part. Her poetry debut book, Rue, was published by Verve Poetry Press. Big up Verve. Pick up the family at Verve. She has also been featured in Speak Dialect and Voices from the West Midlands in 2019. She's been edited by Ursula Clarke and Jonathan Davidson, published by Nine Arches Press, along with other publications. Rupinder's work explores womanhood, language, culture, and history. It's an absolute pleasure to introduce Rupinder. Make some noise.
Hi everyone, I'm Rupinder Kaur and I'm absolutely delighted to be part of today's event, which is all about celebrating languages, celebrating bilingual poems. So I'm going to be reading from my collection Ru, and to begin with I'll read Jugni. O Mereya Jugni, Jugni, O Mereya Jugni, Jugni. Jugni travels from Delhi to Amritsar, across to England. Jugni, the essence of life, the spirit of life, comes inside my room. Jugni comes and dances in my dreams. Jugni makes me fly. Jugni takes me across borders, taking me to Lahore. Jugni removes the Radcliffe line, and I see my 5 rivers flowing together. Jugni sees me read and write poetry. Jugni tells me to light the candle. Jugni watches me apply koho. Jugni watches me paint my lips. Jugni looks at me and smiles. Jugni tells me to fall in love with myself. Jugni is no kafir or fakir. Jugni is azad. Jugni is azad. And Jugni makes me free. Jugni sets my room free. The Jugni becomes me, and the Jugni becomes me. O Mereya Jugni, Jugni. O Mereya Jugni, Jugni. And here's my next poem. I don't actually have titles for my poems in Ru, but this next poem I would say is just about my relationship with my mom, my Nani ji, my mother's mom, my Dadi ji, my father's mom, exploring the generational experiences, differences, and coming together with language and music. So here it is. Putting my salwar on, I play Surinder Kaur's Ik Meri Akashni, written by my favourite poet, Shiv Kumar Badalvi, that carries too much language that can't be translated. As I put my kameez on, it lines my body's curves, coming down with Lahore and Amritsar. A bit like my mother's salwar kameez from an old photo, where she stands in between as she is the middle child that has the worry of all. The photo brings old Delhi where poetry lingers and Sanskrit Latin origin washes away. No fantaside or gurbanis. I remember my Naniji holding me, calling me a ray of light, Kiran. I see my Dadiji looking at me through the mirror smiling. She lost her husband so young, yet she remained so strong and raised 2 sons by herself, working hard day and night. And as I place my dupatta by my side, I feel my ancestors next to me, travelling through 2 worlds of life and death, coming at the platform of reality. And I stand between 2 parallel lines, bringing a fusion of language from every maholla that they set foot on, from Lahore, Delhi, Amritsar, and finally Birmingham. Yes, sometimes I write for myself, but I mostly write for my mother. I write for my ancestors that spill ink in every poem. And I'm just going to read my final poem now, which is based on a folk song, Challa, similarly how Jugni was based on a folk song as well. So here's Challa. Challa, across oceans to my bedroom, entering my heart, the Challa comes. The Challa starts searching but finds my heart full of words in displaced languages. The Challa doesn't fit, but the Challa sits, waking me up from a deep sleep so that I see everything so differently, like I had been asleep for so long. But instead of the future, it's like I've gone back in time, finding the words of my grandmother inside me, finding the words of a lost language inside me, speaking Challa, Challa, Challa. Challa, the word meaning ring sometimes, meaning mad sometimes, and sometimes meaning someone searching. Challa. The Challa sits inside my heart perfectly, watching me fall in love, watching me speak the language of my heart so beautifully. Challa. Thank you for listening.
How are we? Are we good? Are we getting warm? We're getting warm. We're getting warm out here. We're getting warm out here. Hope you're all right. Hope you got your snacks, got your juice, you're chilling. I'm still like proper. I'm just relaxed. Like I'm in my slides. I'm just relaxing, and it's a pleasure to be the compare for you, with you tonight. And I'm not gonna waste any more time. I think I've been talking 4 times in my preambles. I'll be the worst audience member's nightmare in a poetry gig because my preamble will be like this much and my poem would be like, yeah, anyway. Right. So introducing our poet, Pratyusha. Pratyusha is an Indo whiz and she writes poetry, prose, and reviews. Since 2018, she's also been working on Amber Flora, which is an eco world poetry zine, alongside editors. Her most recent collection, Bulbul Calling, came out in May 2020 with Bitter Melon Press. Congrats, Pratyusha. Let's not waste no time.
Banana Map. Sunday morning of the Amavasya. Crooning Patnani, my little pea, let the sun rise you, raise you, write you. The world on a banana leaf, drawing continents in the key, making an ocean with a sambar. My whole life is just a waiting for you, a kind of fisherwoman song for my moon, my full moon. Your body interrupts my midnight, your halfway punctuates my grief. Kureunrumille, Mademutti Karna. what I will sing to you all night long, my love. Fried plantains in little triangles. The triangle day tilts ever so slowly, and we take hot breaths, the humidity, slow electricity around us. Pratani, the rains will come soon. The fever wraps around my knuckles. I wrap up the leaves, washing it with water and reassurances, bucketed, pulled up from the black hole well. Your adjacent body sweating with tenderness, a black and white shadow, my out-of-season baby. My eyes just hours of fever. Yernikavernum. I want. Make of that what you will. What else is this hidden ache, sheer-clothed, skin muted in the deafening conch call that sends shivers through the city's fever-ridden streets? I spoon rasam into your mouth, search the horoscopes, avoid the crematorium. The rasam on your leaf tongue makes a river. Comfort is humid. The sheen on your forehead is a panic, a black water, an endless map. The golden riverside you so admire. My baby, my Pratani, also your funeral pyre. He is here. His voice is here. The soft stare at night. आप गुजर गए, पर ऐसी बुनियाद छोड़ गए. सैलाबे रात पे बहती हुई सदा आपकी सुनाई देती है. Your passing has left your roots intact. The night's rising floods carry your voice to me. Voice heard in song, in story, late nights in andheri. आतिश बुलबुल को कौन बुझाएगा? खिज़ाओं खाक से भी आवाज़ उसकी सुनाई देती है. Who can extinguish the bulbul's flame? Her voice rises from autumns and ashes. His breath is here. Separation. Intangible hyphenation. Growing in the stretch of grass between two farms, paused, the body angled, pulled taut, thawing darkness. Along the Rhine, I found both tongue and apparition. Unbeständig. Where is the absence marked? Where does the first drowning begin? Overreaching, always the body's solitary reasoning, embodied faltering, Dreilandeke. Partitioned, transitioned, irrevocably divided. Venus in retrograde. This always displacement, this Heimat, this resilience of storks, standing in the soft white fog of February mornings. This Shubnam, tidal fields, a basil dew lake, a catching place, der Nebel, suspension and revelation, relearning childhood rivers, dark, seamed, watering dreams, both cartographies and die Lehre.
How are we? Are we good? Are we well? I hope we are. I hope we're talking to each other. Let's talk to each other, please. Let's be talking to each other. Let's send emojis. Do not be stingy to your keyboard. Don't be stingy to your keyboard. Don't act like each letter on your keyboard has got like pins or something that you're like scared to type on it or whatever it is. You know, we're here to celebrate the multicultural experiences. We're here to celebrate poetry. We're here to celebrate ourselves because there's so much happening in the world. And this is one of the many vices, one of the many mediums for us to just sit, relax, and just take in the good vibes. So send emojis to each other, interact, get them names in, vote, get them names in, write some names and all that good stuff. You with me? Nice one. Introducing Kaozara Oyalowo. Kaozara is a poet and a writer. She's part of the BBC's new creative program from Black American, Italian, Nigerian, and British Muslim diaspora. That is awesome. Introducing Kaozara.
Hello, my name is Kaozara Oyalowo. Today I'm going to be performing my poem, Mother Tongue. Thank you for watching. I heard a young girl say that she was embarrassed of her mother tongue. Yet, she didn't know why. Why she would gladly hold hands with English and take her mother tongue at the throat and hurl her onto the streets. Well, at least that's what it sounded like to me. The cutting of ancestors' cords, the smashing of custom-made china. That is the language of my roots. If only she knew the worth of mother tongue, she would embrace it with all she has. Lock it between her lips and swallow. And when the longing for motherland becomes too hard to bear, the white blood cells become warriors to defend her against homesickness. Do you dream in mother tongue? They ask. Mother tongue cannot be dreamt in, but lived in. Cannot just be spoken in, but thought in. The wealth of each sound, a long life richness, thickness, an evergreen in Nordic winters. The bottom, the depth. It is the Mariana Trench. Mother tongue is like sunset mangoes, grass, green guavas, rich, inviting to the mouth, never eaten with patience or digested with beauty. It drums a beat on your heart. A vibration in your soul is the beeping horns of yellow cars in a Lagos traffic. I know when my mother curses me in mother tongue, the whole mouth coils. However, when she curses me in English, I do not react. It is the only language Grandma knows to express her love. Ajikelbo, Ara Iresa, Ọmọbádùn ẹ̀kọ́rọ̀ ṣeni mi ò ṣeni. Èyí tó ń bí rẹ̀sà nú wọlé ògbépo wáyà tí ń yára àmọ́ ìdálára. Ọmọ àrẹ̀sà dúdú lẹ́gbọ̀n, pupa làbúrò. Ojú ló pọ́n dúdú tọ́ ní kán wẹ̀mọ́ fún pupa bá ní ńlọ́lá ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún ọ̀pẹ. Ọmọ àǹfààní àdìgún. Èyí tó dẹ̀yìn tó dòrí tó ń yọ ọmọ epo rẹ́gẹ́dẹ́ ojú omi. Ṣeni mi ò ṣeni. I will not decipher it for you. Multiple layers and stories of ancestral lineage will have to be pulled back carefully, not to distort the past. Instead, listen to the formation Ajikelbo, the structure Arairesa. You may not understand, but enjoy the dance it does on your eardrums. Swallow this difference and enjoy the poetic streams of Yoruba blood that forever flows within me. Thank you.
Vibes on vibes on vibes on vibes on vibes on vibes. I hope we are good. Are we still there? Our energies are still buzzing? Are we still all right? Have you done a refill? Did you have your tea and now you got more tea? Is it not tea? Have you got a refill anyway? Do you know what I mean? We're not yet time for a toilet break. Do you know what I mean? We're just here. I'm still in the comforts of my armchair. I didn't mean to rhyme, by the way. Did you notice that? Did ya? Safe. You got a name? Have we got a name? Do we have a name? Tell me if you've got a name. Yeah? Tell me you're sending emojis. Tell me you're inspired by what's happening, and you want to either access a language that you've always felt like you wanted to access, but you just didn't know how, or you know, you felt like it was like a tough thing to do, but it's seeming to just build more confidence in you, and you want to. Do you know, are those things happening? Please, like, let's start talking. Let's start interacting. Do you know what I mean? Introducing our next poet, Mikey. Mikey is a 22-year-old poet and linguistics researcher from Leeds. Oh, doesn't that sound like super cool? A linguistics researcher. Bodacious. Several of his poems involve the use of Spanish, Portuguese, and French. I swear, listen, I feel like I just need to start learning more languages. I can't be getting outdone like this. This is just not fair. But anyway, it's not about me, is it? It's about the poet. Where was I? Involving the use of Spanish, Portuguese, and French, and he is particularly interested in exploring language history, the politics of language use, and the use of gender-neutral language by trans and non-binary people in these three languages. How exciting does that sound? Here's Mikey.
Hi, my name's Mikey. I use he, him pronouns, and my first poem is called Neutre. You lost the neutral gender when the Roman Empire fell, a dark age of disappearing declensions, of castaway cases and metamorphosed morphemes, the romance worming its way to the surface, not predetermined, no magic, just happy, not quite accident of evolution, where the speakers find the ways to make the sounds best fit their mouths, masticar the consonants y escupir the vowels, parabola, palabra, the words change meaning, adopt, adapt, everything evolving hot and fast, and that scared them. The ones with vested interests in keeping change in check, they tried to tame it. Suavizar the speed of sounds, they wax-sealed your mouths. Blasfemaron in the nation's name. Es más fácil dominaros when you are all the same. But the tongue, the teeth, the lips kept moving, kept using, kept choosing how to shape the sounds, to mix the syntax, to make the words heard. Y estás ahorita en tu shiny modern classroom, con tu shiny neutral gender on display, and they want to say que la lengua has no place for you. As if they didn't write the rules that you were born to break, como si ella quiere ser una autore fuera peor que limpia, fija y da esplendor. You cannot force a tongue to change, nor can you make it stay the same. There is no way of knowing how the mouths will move tomorrow. Just look at where your language started. Look how far it can go. Thank you. My next poem is called Bienvenidos. En medio de una discusión en clase, hay inevitablemente un momento cuando el estudiante se detiene, hace mueca y pregunta, Sir, how do you say this in Spanish? How do you say sorry in Spanish? How do you say language barrier in Spanish? How do you say the British education system does not value other languages in Spanish? The teacher nods and smiles y explica como en su target language. Thank God for the patience of our teachers. When the queue at the GP tuts at the man at the front who reaches for words that just won't come. When the women on the bus glare at the couple conversing in their mother tongue, when my friends apologize, again forgetting their sentence structure wrong. Where is our patience then? How do you say the British colonial mindset does not value other languages in Spanish, in Polish, in Arabic and Urdu and Punjabi and Chinese when I tell people my degree? They smile and nod and compliment me. How smart you must be to learn all three, those safe, white, Latin-based tongues, the same as spoken in Timor-Leste and Mexico and Algeria. My friends switch idioms in the flick of a heartbeat. And no one stops to tell them how much they're impressed. ¿Dónde está tu apreciación, mon ami? All they receive are glances. And why can't they just speak English? Isn't it enough we let them in? You see, for me, this is a hobby. A weighted blanket of self-expectations I could shrug off any time I wish. And for others, this is a day-to-day existence. There is no amnesty in their mother tongue for the last 5 minutes of class. No inglés, po angielsku, al-inglesia, anglesi, yingu. You don't have to learn a whole new set of words. And Duolingo won't solve all the problems in this world, but ¿dónde está tu paciencia? Tu amistad? Tu compasión? There is no need to fear the unknown. And sometimes all you need to translate is a simple hello. Sir, how do you smile in Spanish? How do you nod in Spanish? How do you say, it's good to see you, welcome home? Thank you.
We ain't done yet. We're not done. Oh no. Until I say we're done, and I'm not saying that we're done, we're not done. So until that point, you still got some names in you to drop. Yes, you dropped a couple names. Yo, big up. But we ain't done yet. You can still drop one more name in there. You can still let us know where you're going with it, what your thoughts are. We don't want no poetry. We don't want no poetry. We want a decent name for this youth program, because the youth program is awesome. And like, we fully want to support it, don't we? Awesome sauce. Yep. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for sticking to my randomness throughout this whole event. It's been an absolute pleasure being the host, and we're not done quite yet. I also, by the way, I miss live events, but I'm loving the virtual world. I've attended a few Zoom parties in my time. Oh my God, waking up just the next day, almost like I went out, I was out all night or whatever it is. And I'm still attending events like, oh, do I need to buy a drink? Yeah, let me just go to my kitchen. Let me buy a drink. Oh my God, am I attending actual raves? Am I attending poetry nights in my slides? Yes, I am. Yeah, those are the luxuries of being able to do all of this with you tonight and still have a good time and still celebrate everyone that's coming on board to be part of this program, to be part of this project. Introducing our poet. So, Patrizia Longhitano. So, Patrizia Longhitano was born in Brazil and lived in Manaus until she was 8 years old. She moved to Italy with her adoptive parents until 2005, when she decided to move to the UK. Her poems have appeared in Rialto Poetry, Hanara Poetry, and The Delinquent. Make some big noise for Patrizia.
Hello, everybody. My name is Patrizia Longhitano, and I'm going to read 3 poems. The first poem is an anaphora, and it's about my childhood in Brazil and the creation of planet Earth. In the beginning. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with me, and the Word was me. I'm the 10th child of a Brazilian mother, I'm 3 days old in a hospital cot, while my real mum and dad are signing the adoption papers. In the beginning was the chaos of energy, helium and hydrogen, the energy of an electron and an exploding balloon. I'm crawling on top of a wild animal skin. I'm giggling while trying to catch Teddy's tail, ignoring the fact that he hates me. In the beginning was light, and the dust left over from the creation of the sun, the nickel, aluminium, and iron that gave us Earth. I'm by myself. My mum, the white lady, is at the market. I'm already tasting and smelling the wild maracuja she's buying from the favela's kids, who went into the forest for our pleasure. In the beginning was not really a beginning, but all about endless cycles of contraction and expansion and the bouncing cosmology. I'm running through the school courtyard, and my dad is still in the dusty, full of kids landscape. He can't see me, and all he can do is wait. In the beginning, it was one outer shell, and the plate tectonics didn't know it yet, but they could not only exist, but even move. I'm watching TV while my mom is having a nap. I'm crying and sobbing inconsolably. Lassie is apparently dead for the 749th time in his TV series. Caught, dust left over, the word, school courtyard, forest, outer shell, Teddy and light. Hard to believe it was just the beginning. So I wrote an article for the PTC, and in there I stated that I really don't think my brain is wired for poetic forms and rhyming schemes. So lately I've been trying to push myself, and I wrote a pantom after spending an entire day watching documentary after documentary on YouTube about the Dada movement. And this is the result. So brace yourself. I equal art. One day, I'll ride a bike with no tires. Da, 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 di, 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 do, 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 da, 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 da. In my family, I'll always be the woman with the beard. While hoping not to encounter shit, I roll down the hill while laughing hysterically. Da, 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 di, 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 do, 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 da, 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 da. I deserve to cough on buses. No more Ricola Swiss candy. I prayed, don't let the dog shit touch my face, while embracing my inner Jack and Jill. Oh, look, it's raining again in London. I won't eat any more Ricola on buses. My mother's deathbed was the floor of our laundry room. Oh, look, it's raining in London. Again. Tz, 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 bzz, 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 tz, 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 bzz, bzz, bzz. My mother died on the floor of our laundry room. Mamma mia, anche oggi che caldo che fa. Tz, 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 bzz, 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 tz, 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 bzz, bzz, bzz. Mia mãe era collage. Mamma mia, anche oggi che caldo che fa. The only thing I can do is to never forget what we were. Mia mãe era collage. Pum, pum, boo, boo, ba, boo, ba, pum, pum, bing, bong, bing. I'll never forget we were mother and daughter. In my family, I'll always be the woman who doesn't shave. Pum pum, boo, ba, boom pum, ping pong ping. One day, I'll ride a bike with no round rubber. This last poem is quite old, but I never managed to have the right occasion to read it at the poetry reading. So I hope this is it. So thank you so much to the PTC for the invite, Yomi Sode, and the poets who are performing tonight. Thank you, everybody. Dignity. No, she didn't sing 27 times in a row Dancing on My Own by Robin. No, she didn't watch The Way We Were, Funny Girl, and The Bridges of Madison County the same night. No, she did once. She hadn't heard for months just to catch up, and then crying while starting all the sentences with because it's like in the movie. Of course, she continued her diet without any kind of temptation coming the way. She never really liked Häagen-Dazs either. Cookies and blueberry muffins are so overrated in the English breakfast. And definitely the kebab shop around the corner. Haven't seen her for months, especially during this last week. No, she didn't go to the cinema by herself nearly every night and accepted every extra hour at work just to show on her Facebook page, Insta stories, and Snapchat videos that she's indeed a very busy person. And yes, life continues after that. Nope, she didn't spend every single saved penny at ASOS, buying sexy clothes to show him what he was missing, because she knows very well that self-esteem comes from within ourselves and not from the reflection of someone else's love. Absolutely not. She didn't make Spotify playlists titled Be Strong and He's an Idiot, containing songs from old musicals and or by empowering women like Anastasia, Whitney Houston, and Barbra Streisand, because she knows better than going around London humming Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas in August. At friends' dinners, she would never cry while julienning carrots or cornering the other guests with a have you seen that ridiculous proposal flash mob yet? Can you believe people cry over this shit? No, she didn't buy in one block all Sophie Kinsella's books and read 3 in a row, finishing each one of them with tears in her eyes, while whispering, if I want, that can be me. She doesn't wake up every morning at 5 a.m. to go to the gym and be able to be back at home at 7:50 a.m. just to catch a glimpse of him before he leaves for work, because she knows when to stop trying and to move on with her life. But most of all, without any kind of doubt, she doesn't believe in the curative and cathartic effect of a Liszt poem. No, she doesn't, because she knows she's better than this. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
That's it. That is it. That is absolutely it. Like, I would like to big up all of the poets that you heard tonight. Aren't they awesome? Look them up online, follow their work, support their creative journey, support their writing journey. We had a poet that's like releasing a novel. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily just has to be a collection. It can go in these different ways and different angles. And that's what I love about literature, is that this could be the starting point, but this is where it's going and what it could go into. And that is awesome. Big up the PTC. Thank you very, very, very much for all the awesome work that you're doing and continue to do. Thank you for the invitation for me to just like be part of this. I feel like my role has been very, very, very small. Do you know what I mean? And thank you for the amount of like outtakes of mine that you probably had to make some sense of, to ping it together to just make it work. Because I wish, oh, how I wish that I'm that much of a G to do all of this in one take. Newsflash. This is like take. let's not go there. It's been a joy to be the compere. It's been a joy to host, and I really look forward to what the final decision is in regards to the name of this youth program. Like, I'm really, 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 really excited. And big up the viewers, big up you for sticking with it. Big up you for supporting literature. Big up you for contributing to the name. Big up you for still going through the best part of this 2020 with a smile. There's some high days, some low days, but we're still here, we're existing. And isn't that a beautiful thing? And let's continue to do so. Take care. And I hope to see you in a physical space at some point soon. All the best. Bye-bye.